July 2, 2021, Blue Point, New York. A 22-year-old girl named Gabby Petito hugs her mother goodbye in the driveway. They are going on the trip of a lifetime, a cross-country van life adventure across America's most beautiful national parks. Her mother Nicole held that hug for a long time. She later said that hug was the memory she holds closest to her heart. It was the last time she would ever see her daughter alive. Welcome to Case File Unknown. Today we open the file on Gabby Petito, the case that stopped the entire world in September 2021, and whose updates are still making headlines in 2025. Gabrielle Venora Petito was born on March 19, 1999 in Blue Point, New York. She was the oldest of 6 siblings and half-siblings. She was described by everyone who knew her as bubbly, artistic, and completely full of life. She loved yoga, she loved art, she loved vegetables and hiking and the outdoors. In high school, she met a boy named Brian Laundrie. He seemed polite and kind. Her mother Nicole later said she saw nothing in him that worried her at all. By 2020, the two were engaged and dreaming of the open road. Gabby saved money working 50-hour weeks at Taco Bell and as a nutritionist. She bought a white 2012 Ford Transit van and the two of them converted it into a home on wheels. The plan was 4 months, national parks, social media, a YouTube channel, and an Instagram account documenting every sunset and every smile. On July 2, 2021, they pulled out of Blue Point with Gabby's mom waving goodbye. What followed would become the most talked about missing persons case in modern American history. For the first weeks, everything looked perfect on social media. Monument Rocks, Great Sand Dunes, Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon. Photo after photo of a young couple in love, laughing, kissing, living the dream. But behind the camera, something very different was happening. On August 12, 2021, a witness near Moab, Utah called 911. They reported seeing a man hitting a woman outside a van near Arches National Park. Moab police pulled over the couple. Body camera footage showed Gabby visibly upset and crying. She told police she had anxiety and that she had hit Brian first. Brian had scratches on his face. The officers made a decision that would later haunt the entire department. They separated the couple for the night and let them both go. No arrests were made. Gabby Petito was last seen alive 2 weeks later on August 27, 2021. A witness at a restaurant in Jackson, Wyoming reported seeing the couple arguing loudly at lunch. Gabby never posted on social media again after August 25th. On August 29th, Brian Laundrie called his parents from Wyoming. He told them Gabby was gone and that he needed a lawyer. His mother Roberta later said in a court deposition that she told herself Gabby could take care of herself. She did not call Gabby's parents. She did not call police. She followed her attorney's advice and said nothing. On September 1, 2021, Brian Laundrie arrived back at his parents' home in Northport, Florida. He was alone. He was driving Gabby's van. Gabby's phone was with him. Gabby was not. For 10 days, the Laundrie family said nothing. Gabby's family were calling and texting, getting no response. On September 11th, Gabby's mother Nicole Schmidt filed a missing persons report. When detectives came to her door to tell her the van had been found in Florida without Gabby, she later said she knew that night. She knew her daughter was gone. The case exploded across the world within days. The hashtag #FindGabbyPetito flooded social media. Millions of people tracking every update in real time. On September 13th, Brian Laundrie left his parents' home claiming he was going for a hike. He never came back. His parents waited 4 days before reporting him missing. The FBI began searching the Carlton Reserve in Florida, a 25,000-acre wilderness area. On September 19, 2021, after tips from 2 travel bloggers who had seen the van at a campsite, investigators found human remains in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. On September 21st, the remains were confirmed to be Gabby Petito. She was 22 years old. Her cause of death was ruled homicide by manual strangulation and blunt force trauma to the head and neck. The world held its breath waiting for Brian Laundrie. On October 20, 2021, partial human remains and personal belongings were found at Florida's Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. They belonged to Brian Laundrie. He had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Found with his remains was a handwritten letter. In it, Brian Laundrie claimed that Gabby had fallen into freezing water and was gasping and in pain, and that he had ended her life believing it was a mercy. This account was directly contradicted by the autopsy findings. The FBI stated clearly that their investigation found no other individuals directly involved in Gabby's death, but the case was far from over. Gabby's family turned their grief into action. They filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Brian Laundrie's estate in November 2022. A Florida judge awarded Gabby's mother $3 million. They filed a $50 million lawsuit against the Moab Police Department, claiming that if officers had followed Utah domestic violence law that day in August, Gabby would still be alive. On November 20, 2024, that lawsuit was dismissed by a judge citing governmental immunity. The judge acknowledged the officers' conduct may have contributed to her death, but the law protected them. Gabby's parents also sued Brian Laundrie's parents for intentional infliction of emotional distress, claiming the Laundries knew Brian had killed Gabby and deliberately withheld that information while Gabby's family desperately searched for their daughter. In February 2024, a settlement was reached between the two families. Terms were not disclosed. Then on February 17, 2025, Netflix released a 3-part documentary called American Murder, Gabby Petito. It included never-before-seen text messages between Brian and Gabby revealing his increasingly controlling behavior. It showed how he stole her wallet and ID to prevent her from going out without him. It revealed new details about the final weeks of her life. It broke streaming records on the platform. Gabby's mother, Nicole, watched every episode. She said she hoped Gabby's story would help at least one person recognize the warning signs of an abusive relationship and get out before it was too late. Gabby Petito was 22 years old. She had 6 younger siblings who adored her. She had a mother who held on to a hug in a driveway and never let it go. She had a dream of showing the world beautiful places through a camera lens. Her YouTube channel still exists. Her last video has over 6 million views. In it, she and Brian are laughing and driving into the sunset with not a care in the world. If you or someone you know is in a controlling or abusive relationship, please reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They are available 24 hours a day. The Gabby Petito Foundation continues to raise awareness about domestic violence and missing persons. You can find them at gabbypetitofoundation.org. Subscribe to Case File Unknown. Every week we open a new file. Every week we keep these stories alive. The file stays open.